Achieving success or manifesting your dreams are not about working as hard as you can or pushing as much as you can in your external reality, because your external reality is largely a reflection of your internal reality. So some of the biggest shifts you can make come from within. If you want success, whatever success looks like to you, then the most important thing you can do is cultivate a success mindset. My name's Georgia. I have a master's degree in consciousness, spirituality and transpersonal psychology, and in my free time I love to research manifestation and the science behind shifting our reality. Now, in today's video, we're going to be exploring how you can transform your mindset to attract success. If you can shift your mindset to one of success, then both manifestation and science tell us that you will become a magnet to that success. You will essentially become a magnet to your dreams. So let's get straight into it. The first thing you need to do to cultivate a success mindset is to believe in the best outcome. You need to believe that anything is possible. Always expect the best. Now, this is because our brain serves as evidence for whatever we believe. So whatever you believe doesn't matter, because either way, your brain is going to make it true. So you may as well believe in what you actually want to experience in life. If you believe that it is possible to be a successful business owner, to have a connected, healthy relationship, or to be in the best physical state of your life, then your brain is going to say yes, and it's going to serve you evidence to show that that is in fact possible, because that's what you believe. This is basically because of something called confirmation bias, where our mind is essentially always looking for evidence to confirm to us our existing beliefs. So you really need to make sure that your beliefs are in alignment with the reality that you're trying to create. So whatever you do, do not listen to people who tell you to expect the worst outcome, so that if that does happen, then at least you'll be prepared and you won't be disappointed. That is terrible advice. Instead, you want to expect the best outcome. Believe that it is possible for you to achieve anything that you can imagine. So I want you to create that expectation of success. Do whatever it takes to believe that that is going to happen. Now, you can do this through various techniques such as visualization. When we visualize something in our mind can't actually tell the difference between what's real in our external reality and what we're imagining. So if you imagine yourself being that successful person, then your brain can't tell the difference. It thinks that's actually happening, and it's going to rewire itself as if that is actually happening. Another easy thing you can do is make a list of all of the reasons why you can achieve that thing you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to be a successful business owner, for example, then you might write down things like you are creative, you're good with money, or you're a really good learner. So whatever it is you need to be that business owner, you're going to learn how to do it. Big yourself up and convince yourself that you can achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve. You need to build that belief and that expectation so that your mind keeps serving you evidence to support that. Second thing you need to do to cultivate a success mindset is to notice success all around you. Notice when people around you are thriving and living their dream lives. Notice when wealth is circulating around you. If you start looking, you can see instances everywhere of money being exchanged. Notice opportunities, even if it's someone else having those opportunities. You might think, how is this going to help me? This is just going to make me feel bitter seeing everyone else around me having success while I don't. When in actual fact, this is an amazing practice to do, because it trains your mind to filter more of that in. Your mind is like a computer, and you can program it to do whatever you want to do. And how you program it is by what you focus on and what you pay attention to. This harnesses a system in our brain called the reticular activating system, which basically determines what enters our conscious awareness, and it does this based on what you pay attention to the most. So if you train yourself to notice all of the success around you, then you are telling your brain that that's what's important, and that is what I want to pay attention to. That is what I want to be filtered into my conscious awareness. And this is important for two reasons. First, it's going to make that success feel normal and feel attainable to you. So it's going to help you rewire any limiting beliefs that you have. And the second reason it's important is because if you are attuned to that success all around you, then it means you're also attuned to opportunities. For example, if you are focused on wealth and how it's circulating all around you, then you are also going to be tuned into opportunities to achieve wealth yourself, which is what you need to be able to do so that you can act on those opportunities. So your mindset is hugely important, because if you're not attuned to the success that you want to achieve, then your mind is going to filter out opportunities that could have brought you closer to your goals, when instead we obviously want to be able to notice them so that we can act on them and get closer to our end goal. So the third thing that we need to do to cultivate a success mindset is to identify as the successful version of ourselves. Now, the reason that this is so important is because you are not your identity. And to understand what I mean by this and how profound it is, I want to do a quick thought experiment. So first, let's focus on our outer reality. This can be the achievements we've had in life. So maybe you've earned a degree, like a master's degree or a bachelor's degree, or you could look at your job, for example. Now, what I want you to understand here is you existed before you had any of those achievements. So those achievements are not you. They're not who you truly are. So let's go a bit deeper. What about your body, this physical body that we inhabit for our entire lives? Is that who you are? Well, if you think about this for a second, if you look in a mirror, the physical version of you that you see in that mirror is not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago. That physical body is constantly changing, and yet you remain the same. You still exist. You are not your physical body. And we can go even deeper and look at our internal state. So if we look at our thoughts, we all have thousands and thousands of thoughts every day. But you are able to hear your thoughts. And if you are able to hear your thoughts and perceive them, then that implies that you are not your thoughts. You are something that is observing your thoughts. You are the one witnessing the thoughts. So what all of these examples show is that we are something beyond all of these things. We're not our thoughts. We're not our physical body. We're not our achievements in life. We are simply the awareness that observes all of these things. We are pure awareness. That is who we truly are. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because all of those things that I've listed are simply things that we identify with. And because we are not those things, because we are pure awareness, we can choose what we identify with. It doesn't matter what you identify as, because none of those things are who you truly are. You are simply pure awareness. So you may as well choose an identity that is going to serve you and that is going to bring you closer to the success that you're trying to achieve. Like we already discussed in the first point, your mind is going to serve you evidence of whatever you believe. So you may as well identify as someone who is successful, so that your mind is going to serve you evidence to confirm that back to you. Even if your external reality does not yet match that identity, that doesn't matter, because your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. There's a delay there. So ignore whatever your external reality says and choose to identify as that successful version of you anyway. Because when you build up that momentum through identifying with it, then eventually your external reality will reflect that back to you. And another reason it's so important to identify as that successful version of you is because of self-fulfilling prophecies. Basically, you are going to act in a way that is aligned with whatever you believe about yourself, with whoever you believe yourself to be. So if you identify as that successful version of you, then you are going to act in ways that that version of you would act, and that is going to bring you closer to that success. The fourth way to cultivate a success mindset is to reframe challenges. So everything in life that we experience is neutral until we assign some meaning to it. So, for example, let's think of an aeroplane. To some people, an aeroplane is an amazing piece of technology. It allows you to visit different areas of the world and have all of these incredible experiences. To someone else, an airplane might be something that is really terrifying. Maybe they knew someone that was in a plane crash, for example. In both cases, this thing, the plane, is exactly the same. The only difference is the meaning that someone attaches to it, and that meaning is often due to our experiences in life or our beliefs. But the thing is, when we become aware of the fact that we do this, then we can change the meaning that we assign to things, and as a result we can change situations which otherwise would be perceived as negative and use them to our advantage. So, for example, let's imagine that you just lost your job. You can look at that from a really negative perspective. You can see it as a setback. You can see it as a loss of income. You can focus on all of the time that you're going to have to waste looking for a new job. Or you can reframe this and you can look at it from a positive perspective. So you could see it as redirection. You could see it as an opportunity to find a job that is so much more aligned with you, that is going to even give you better pay, for example. Again, the circumstances here are exactly the same. The only difference is how you choose to look at it, the meaning you choose to assign to it. Now, if you look at a successful person, I promise you they are assigning the positive meaning to that thing. They are not looking at every challenge that happens to them as if it's some negative thing or a drawback. They're using those challenges as opportunities. So next time you experience any sort of challenge, do your best to reframe it. Empower yourself to use that situation to give yourself an opportunity to grow as a person, because that opportunity for growth is going to lead you closer towards success. And when you can see your challenges as opportunities, it's also going to empower you to take action towards your desires and move you closer to your goals. So if you harness these 4 mindset shifts, then that is a sure way to propel yourself towards success, whatever that might look like to you, because of course success looks different to all of us. So we've just looked at 4 ways that you can use your mind to get closer to your desired reality. Now, if you want to understand an even more mysterious way that our mind might create our reality, and so another reason why you should harness the power of your mindset, you can watch this video next. For now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next one.